It's Friday, January 22nd. Time to check our bell work. First set, write each in standard form. That means we are just writing the number. So I'm looking for commas and I'm looking for the word and. The first chunk that I see in front of the comma says 22,000. So I'm going to write my 22, and this 2 should be in the thousands place. That means there are going to be 3 digits to the right of that. The next little chunk says 906, and then I see the word and. So 906 means that these 3 lines right here should have 906 and my decimal point right after. The part after and says 12 thousandths. So I see the number 12 here. The 2 in the 12 should be in the thousandths place. That means I need to write 0, 1, 2. For number 2, this says 416 and. So 416 is just 4/16, and there's my decimal point. And this says 54 hundredths. So I see that that's 54. If it's 54 hundredths, it means the 4 needs to be in the hundredths place, so I can just write 54. Okay, we're gonna do some rounding now. The first part says round to the nearest whole number. So that's kind of like round into the ones place. Right here, this is the ones place. This is the nearest whole number. So if I ask you to round that to the nearest whole number, it's either going to be 18 or 19. So I'm gonna write right over here. I guess I could just write it on this line. 18, 19. Those are my 2 choices when rounding to the nearest whole number. Halfway between 18 and 19 is 18.5, right? We learned that that's the decimal point for a half. And right here, this says 18 and 842 thousandths. 842 thousandths is going to be more than, and you can change this right here to match that, 18 and 500 thousandths. So this would fall closer to the 19. For number 4, when we're rounding this to the nearest whole number again, this is either going to be 234 or it's going to be 235. Now halfway between 234 and 235 is 234.5. I'm looking at 488 here that goes to the thousands place, so I'm going to add my 2 zeros here, and I have to ask myself, is 234.488, is that going to be this way or this way? So 488, that's less than 500, so that means that the nearest whole number this would round to is 234. Okay, now we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So right here, I see 18.8. That number's in the tens place right there. So my answer is either going to be 18.8 or it's going to be 18.9. Those are the 2 tenths it's between. Halfway between would be 18.85. Now I notice that there's 3 digits here, so I'm going to add that 0 there. Is 842 thousandths going to come before or after 850? It's going to come before. So 18.8 is the nearest tenth. For number 6, this 4 is in the tenths place. So my answer is either going to be 234.4 or it's going to be 234.5. The halfway point is 234.45. I see that there are 2 digits here, so I'm going to add another digit there. And now we're asking ourselves, is 488 before or after 450? It would be after. So this would round to 234.5. All right, our last set, we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So this 4 is in the hundredths place. That means my answer is either going to be, this time I can write it underneath, 18.84 or 18.85. Halfway in between here would be 18.845. Now I have to ask myself, because I already have 3 digits here, is 842 thousandths going to come before or after that? It would come before. 842 would come before 845. So that means 18.84 is the nearest hundredth. And last one, this first 8 right here, that's in the hundredths place. So if I'm rounding this to the nearest hundredth, it's either going to be 234.48 or it's going to be 234.49. The halfway mark, 234.485. Now here I see 488 thousandths, and I want to know, is that going to be more or less than my halfway mark? Well, 488 is going to be this direction here. 488 is further towards the 234.49. All right, you're all set with your bell work. Thanks for watching.